These are those moments that make me realize how special this drink is. Thank you for joining me once again on McIntyre's Malts. Today I wanted to bring out one of the heavy hitters, something special out of the cabinet, and do my first time tasting and review of the 2022 Hazelburn 12 Oloroso Cask Matured. Stunning. Look at the color. I can smell that from here, guys. Wow. This one is going to be fun. Many of you who watch this channel no doubt are already aware how difficult Springbank expressions are to find. Longrow and Hazelburn are no exception to that. Hazelburn is Springbank's triple distilled non-peated expression. This bottle here has been matured in Oloroso casks. There are 9,000 bottles worldwide. This one was distilled in September 2010, bottled in November 2022, and 49.9% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered, the most perfectly presented way that whiskey can be bottled. Have a look at that color, guys. That's incredible, right? 12-year-old Oloroso Cask Matured, and that's when you can really appreciate how beautiful the color on a whiskey is, when you know that it's real. This one in my market is very hard to come by, so I cannot give you a real sense of the price point, but know that if you can find this at retail and you're quick enough to buy it within the minute that it's live online, it's maybe $270 in that realm at retail, but typically you will see this secondary market and auctions $400 plus, which is kind of crazy, right? Nonetheless, we are going to enjoy this together today, so let's begin with nosing this Hazelburn 12 Oloroso Cask Matured whiskey. So vibrant and fruity. Loads of raisins, just abundance of raisins straight away. Now you're getting tobacco. The beautiful sort of dusty dunnage warehouse smell to it. Old bookstores, when you open a book and it's dusty and you get that sort of decaying paper material, that smell is here. It's a very nice balance of that drier, nuttier note from an Oloroso cask, but there's surprisingly a lot of sweetness present on the nose as well. It's kind of dancing between the sweet and that dank, sort of wet cardboard kind of smell. Beautiful nose. Okay, I'm excited, guys. Let's get this onto my palate now for the first sip and see what it reveals. Cheers. Wow. Oily. Loads of body. Ooh. The texture's amazing. There's a lot going on here. This is insane. The neck pour, and it's just rich and intense. Very sweet beginning at almost 50%. Drinks superbly, very, very comfortable on the palate. More of the sherry notes are far more intense and they build. It's like a burst of dates and the sort of raisins, very much dried fruits, not any of that fresh plum. It's very much dried fruits. And then from there, it starts to dry out. So you get this beautiful balance of sweet at the forefront, and then the heat rises up, and then slowly after that it starts to dry out. You're left with this lovely coating of hints of the tobacco and leather and the sort of old bookstore on your palate. Wonderful whiskey, almost even a suggestion of smoke at the end. Just this hint of smoke. I don't know if it's just my mind playing tricks on me, being that it's unpeated, but it just feels like there's a suggestion of smoke right towards the finish. The finish is medium. After it dries out a touch, then it sort of disappears and it doesn't hang around on your palate too much. So it would be amazing if it had a longer finish. Okay, let's do another nosing and see if anything now further has opened up in my glass, and then we'll go again on the final sip and finish, and I'll give you my recommendations on this one. It's beautiful. It is so elegant on the nose. There's so much of those dried raisins and sultanas, the dried dates. Just gorgeous. The underlying sweetness. You know when you get a raisin and it's got that chewiness, but there's the hint of the sweetness that came from the grape, just what it used to be, and you get that nice stickiness. You're getting that in spades here. There's the suggestions too of that little funkiness. There's the farmyards underlying, like the hay notes. Again, that sort of wet cardboard note is there. But a beautiful contrast of sweetness and that dusty, dank, musty smell as well. Fantastic. Everything is placed beautifully and very well integrated on this whiskey. I'm excited to see how this bottle is going to open up over time. These are those moments that make me realize how special this drink is. I love whiskey. Final sip on my palate for the finish on the Hazelburn 12 Oloroso Cask Matured 2022. Slange. Man, burst of sweetness. Now the dryness is coming in again. The heat starts to unfold. A little bit of astringency, slight bitterness, but a beautiful contrast and transition from the sweetness at the beginning. The dryness is wonderful after that first eruption of sweet fruit. Now again, the leather, tobacco, easing out. A beautiful mellow transition out. Just so elegant and just drifts away in the most pleasant sense. A wonderful, wonderful whiskey. Very obvious. I absolutely recommend this whiskey, and I know how hard this is going to be to get, but if you are a whiskey hunter like I am and you go searching, it's possible to find this. There's no denying the sense of the craft and the experience you get from this bottle. It is costly, and value is subjective, so I will leave that to you to decide if you're prepared to pay secondary market prices for this or auction prices. But I can most certainly sit here and tell you it is a fantastic whiskey, incredibly well put together, and most certainly a very, very pleasing and enjoyable dram. Thank you guys for being here with me today. My name is Wade. If you are enjoying this kind of content, please let me know by leaving a like on the video and a comment underneath the video. And if you would like more of this kind of content, don't forget, click subscribe underneath here. And if you're really enjoying this and want to help support the channel to grow, click on super thanks and contribute that way as well. I love this one today, guys. Thank you so much for sharing this first time tasting a whiskey with me. It's a pleasure having you all here. While you're waiting for me to release the next video, why don't you go back and check out this other video I did not too long ago as well. Thank you very much, guys. Talk to you soon.